I was feeling pretty good till about that last 6 minutes. And then we pulled some really nincompoop moves. I don't understand, you know. And so rather than, I wouldn't call it a butt chewing, but I got after them, and I got after my starters. These useless turnovers at the end, whether it be Alex over there with two of them or whether it be Trey pushing off or Jalen pushing off. That was totally unnecessary. Then we go 1 for 5 in the last, or 1 for 5 or 1 for 4 free throws in the last. Jalen missed 2, Nigel missed 1. Am I missing any? Was that it? So, I just thank the good Lord that we got to win. They're a good basketball team. They got a lot of fight in them because they didn't have Ike Smith today. And he's a very good basketball player. That's the reason why they were picked to win second, because of him and Tookie Brown. We made an All-American out of Simeon Carter, who hadn't been starting, but had an All-American game against us, almost a double-double. Alex had a double-double. If he didn't have those 2 turnovers at the end, I would tell you he had a very good game, or a pretty good game, other than, Crawley had another good game. So, anyway, they're a very fast-paced team, and they caught us. We prepared for that 1-3-1 trap and that press, that 1-2-2. But for example, I'll give you a line. When Alex catches the ball, like where he caught it, and they came and tied him up, you're supposed to dribble it down the floor some. And then the guy who threw it to you comes from behind, you throw it right back to him, and there's no trap. And Alex froze. Why, I don't know, but he did. But we're happy to get the win. We've got to do a better job. Nigel Pearson had 14 rebounds. Jalen Shedd, Nigel had 14 rebounds, and that's a big. Thank God, because his shooting was very uncharacteristic tonight. He's one of the top shooters in the league, and tonight you would never think that if this was your first time to watch him. He made some big-time shots, and then at the end he nearly gave it away with some bad shots and all that. So I got on him. I said, you let the last 4 or 5 minutes mar up the first 35. You got to finish. You can't have. If you had 24 tonight and we lost, no one would know. All I know is that we caved in. We collapsed. So, but he hit some big shots, and we needed him to, because Nigel was just not clicking tonight at all. And we're going to need Nigel to shoot the ball well, because the team coming up plays virtually all matchup zone, and we can't just shoot a bunch of threes, but they will make you shoot a lot of threes. But he was big, to answer your question. Very. I'm not happy. Not happy at all. Guys don't even talk about being a championship team if we're going to perform like that at home. We should have won that game by 20. I know that may sound funny, but at times we were up 13, 14, and we do some dumb things. And, we can't do that. We can't do that. So, well, it's like those 2 turnovers that Alex got. We crossed the line. I didn't see him travel for one, but maybe he did. And then, he lets himself get tied up. We worked on that the last 3 days. But that's why few people coach, because, we're insane to do so, because they do stuff like that. And the question is, half the time they don't think it's their fault. But, it is what it is. And thank God we hopefully can learn from this and still get the victory. Because learning from this after a bitter defeat would have been very upsetting. I've seen collapses like that on other teams too. You get a little cocky with your lead and so forth, and but a little disappointed. We tightened up there at the end, really did. And when I just say disappointed, I'm getting Jalen, Nigel, Trey, Alex, Eric. The 5 starters were in most of the time, except when we put Mason in, and maybe Shelby on defensive purposes. And it wasn't Mason and Shelby that turned it over, so it's our 5 starters, or some of our 5 starters. You know, I love to see. I mean, I'd love to see Nigel continue to play the way he has. Nobody gets in the gym more and works on his own than Nigel. And I mean, he really puts time in. So I know he's not. I know he's very frustrated. I mean, he just seemed to be really excited about this being the first game. I told him, I said, you want it too much. Play. Let the game come to you. Don't force it. But you know, he just really, I think, wanted it too much. That's my read on it. Yeah, so. You know, I think Trey played an excellent game, saved those last, 3 or 4 minutes, and 35 minutes of first-team all-conference basketball there. So thank y'all for coming here tonight. Appreciate y'all.
I feel like we're our biggest competition, we're our biggest enemy. They slowed us down, definitely, but I feel like we still made minor mistakes on our end. We got to do a better job closing out games, hitting free throws, minimizing our turnovers, stuff like that. But they came to play. They're a good team, and we expected it to be a close game, but we just gotta fix our minor mistakes we made tonight.
Just being the presence down low. Coach told us that they're gonna sometimes switch 1 through 5. So he just told me to be aggressive, and whenever you got a mismatch, call for it.
We know that, on any capable night, somebody can score double digits, anybody on the team, really. So, I mean, if he has a bad night, him being our leading scorer, other guys got to step up and pick up his slack. People are going to have those kind of nights. It might be Trey next game, it might be me, it might be somebody else. So we just got to pick up the slack.
We understand it's a part of the game. It's a good and bad thing that it happened tonight because it could have went either way for both squads. But now that we're used to it, we went through this last year. We had a lot of close games last year, so it's not nothing we're used to. We just got to keep going and keep trying to get the W.
Quite frankly, I'm tired of winning like that. I like comfortable wins. I don't like them shooting threes to tie the game at the end of the game anymore.
3 chances too.
We went through that all of conference last year. No. Again, just fixing our minor mistakes. Coach told us at halftime we had 6 turnovers and we ended up with 19 on the game. So in the second half, you can't turn the ball over that much. You can't have a few minor breakdowns on defense and stuff like that. Securing the first rebound and not letting them get second chances. So stuff like that, you come back and you fix on it. But it's a good learning tool for us. I just don't want it to happen ever again.